Yo, Plebman here. Yeah, I'm wearing a Grinch shirt. Love it. Wife gave it to me. Alright. I didn't really want to talk about it. Wife said it might be therapeutic to talk about Charlie Kirk and the stuff that's going on. So we're going to get into it. So assassinating a person, killing a person is bad. There's no two ways about it. It's just bad. Whether if you're killing an evil person, it should killing just the idea of killing a person should negatively impact you. Like, frankly, throughout human time, it has been understood that eliminating a person, deleting a person, whatever terminology you want to use, from this plane of existence is bad. Like, it should affect you. And we're in this kind of current state of affairs where you have people who are, they're not firing on all cylinders. They're America, I think it's 1/3 of Americans are on psychiatric medications. And if you look at the laundry list of things they say on psychiatric medications, it's gnarly, it's nasty, it's bad. And frankly, it's indicative of, like, I wouldn't want you operating a truck, let alone having a gun, or just, driving a car. Like, what? Like, so the argument should be like, okay, well, if you're on psych meds, then you shouldn't be driving at all, period, full stop. Which is a separate conversation which nobody's having, because it's kind of out in left field. It's like, oh, well, that's you're taking away their freedom of transportation because they're having this disease that they use this medication. I don't want to do a whole anti-psychiatry medication thing on this. What happened with Charlie Kirk is unacceptable. There's no two ways about it. It's unacceptable. It's not okay. It's disgusting, disturbing. It's upsetting. The idea that we have a person who had a political viewpoint and then was killed for some reason in public is bad. And as I talk about it right now, I'm realizing, like, yeah, but this happens all across the world. It's like, yeah, okay, sure. And the rest of the world is worse than America. So if this is happening in America, we have problems. And what's extra is, like, you know what? This isn't just about Charlie Kirk. It's not. Like, Charlie Kirk was a right-wing guy, conservative, so not an extremist like Nick Fuentes. Which, hey, fun fact, if you wanted to kill someone, Nick Fuentes is, like, he's there. He's available. Like, it's not hard. So that tells me that, okay, this was like, this is not just like a simple thing. And maybe I'm wrong, but like 200 yards is not a simple shot. For people who shoot rifles, that's not a simple shot. It's not an easy shot. And then shooting someone in the throat is also not an easy shot. But I don't know. It's too early to do the conspiracy element. But it's weird. It's weird. And then I think about, like, well, who benefits? I don't know. I've heard some theories. I don't agree with it. I don't like it. I don't like what's going on with America. I don't like the fact that America was established as this, like, thing that could help make the world better. And it did. It did. Oh, for like 100 years. Like, up until World War II, we were killing it. And even post World War, up until and after World War II, America objectively was doing really good. And one could say that the real issue was corporatization of corporations. Like they mentioned corporations. And the Federal Reserve, which was 1913, so like pre-World War One. So that's when America changed. And my argument would be America changed in 1970, 1960s. Like as soon as we saved the world, suddenly there were efforts to make the world worse or controlled. I don't know. What I can say is this, is like people like Charlie Kirk are good people, and I want more and more and more and more and more people to ask and to question themselves and what they know and what they think and what they think they know. Both, all the above. I think it's imperative that we as people need to be like, hey, am I wrong? And one thing I keep running into, and it's worth noting, people on Facebook, because that's unfortunately like the social media I use frequently, people that I'm like friends with, associates with, I used to be friends with, whatever, are saying things that are like, oh, well, Charlie Kirk, Charlie Kirk was pro this, pro this, pro this. He was pro, like, he even said, this is one of the most atrocious things. Charlie Kirk was like, oh, yeah, some gun deaths are acceptable as long as we keep our Second Amendment freeman rights. And it's like, okay, hold on, let me understand this correctly. So you're inflating that, you're saying Charlie Kirk is defending your right to own a gun. And then because he was killed by a gun, it's justified. But even if they're not saying that, it's like, okay, I don't get it. This is a person whose a lot of his career was based around come have a conversation. And suddenly you can't conversate with him anymore. There's other people who do this too, and best believe if they do it, which Ben Shapiro's like, I'm still gonna do it. Good for him. Security's gonna be rounded up. I don't think if the idea was to get the right to riot, I don't think this worked. I think that you've upset us. And yeah, I'm us. I'm of the right. And I'm of the group of people that's upset tremendously. But I'm not of the mind of like, hey, people on the left are need to be removed. I'm of the mind that the people on the left need to be argued against because their logic is flawed, which is what I understand Charlie Kirk's whole shtick was. It's like, okay, if you have an idea, and this is, I'll leave you with this, because I'm upset. I'm very upset. Upset is, it's an oversimplification of a word. I've been disturbed for the last 2 days since it happened. It's been weird. But I'll leave you with this. And it's a Charlie Kirkism. It's a truthism, which I like truisms. If you have an idea, if you can't withstand scrutiny, conflict, resistance, whatever, if you can't withstand it, it's not a good idea, right? If it can fight, it can defeat all these things, and it can, then okay. And simply put, that's what Charlie Kirk's whole shtick was. Is like, hey, debate with me, conversate with me. If you can't, okay, that's fine. And a lot of people want to give shit or say things that are negative about what he did or said or whatever, or they didn't agree with certain things. And it's like, that's okay. That's what America is. That's what freedom is. What is not freedom is saying, oh, I'm going to kill you because you don't agree with my statements. Now, I don't know who killed him or why. I'm of the mind, I'm inclined to not believe any of the future narrative. I don't think it was a trans person. I don't think trans people are the problem. I think the people behind trans people are the problem. I think the people behind gay people are the problem. I think trans people and gay people are like a hyper microscopically small, less than 1% of the population. Maybe I'll be generous. Less than 2 to 5%, less than 5%. We'll call it less than 5. Less than 5% of the population is gay or trans. So good. They get less than 5% of the conversation. The rest of the 95% of the conversation should be about how do we make America good, better, great again? How do we do those things? And then how do we make the world good, better, great again? And the world is massive. And frankly, I don't think we have a lot of time. I think we're limited on our time as far as it's so easy to get zoned in our world. But I think that if we don't start improving the world, if the world doesn't start getting better, I think that we're going to start getting worse. Because the world's already going bad. So if we don't stop the decline and then go the other way, we're going to fail as a society. And failure as a society involves a lot of deaths, a lot of suffering, and just general discomfort the world over. Because we're so interconnected, America failing means it'll reverberate throughout the world and cause catastrophic events that'll affect everyone. So everyone will suffer, which means starvation, it means thirst, dehydration, it means total degradation of society. So the solution is really, how do I as an individual improve myself and improve America? And the answer is to be informed, is to see out points and to correct them. And it doesn't matter what job you're doing. If you do those two things, see out points and you correct them, you're a contributing member of society. The unfortunate thing is a lot of people don't do that. They see out points and they're like, is it my job? Oh no, it's not my job. And they don't correct them. And maybe that's an American thing. I think it's manifested throughout the world in different ways. Some countries will maybe do like that. They won't even see an out point. They're told to do a thing and they do the thing and that's it. And they're not even at the point of like seeing an out point. But America's always been this bastion of rightness. This idea of like, hey, everybody's responsible for the overall goal. Which I think was in large part born during World War II. But whatever. Americana is that idea of like freedom of thought. So we as individuals should have freedom of thought. And I want to just finalize this particular issue that I'm having. Sorry, I'm having a headache. I've heard lots of really interesting things and kind of atrocious things of people that I'm associated with in regards to Charlie Kirk assassination, as it came out to be. And my thing is like, okay, I reserve the right to say you're disgusting because I think you're disgusting. And if you want to unfriend me, please do. You shouldn't really say, but if they don't like being called disgusting, then okay, they can unfriend me. But I am still friends with these people because I want to know their side. And I asked my cousin, hey, why didn't you like Charlie Kirk? And he said some things, and I didn't agree with any of them, but I was like, okay, cool, thank you for telling me. And here's my thing. Don't give up. Don't surrender. Don't be like, oh, yeah, forgive people for saying things out of pocket. It's like, no, I'm sorry. If people are going to say things out of pocket that are uncouth, then they should be called out. Because there's going to be... You know what? Aside from what there's going to be, it's important for people to just call out their own shittiness, their own badness. And then, hey, good, I know this is where you stand for. So if there's a fire, I don't want to fucking ask you. Because you're fine with stuff burning down. You have a weird viewpoint? Good. And I feel like, in a weird way, in a peaceful way, that's how one could deal with people who are liberal and leftist, is ostracize them and squish them out of society. We may not be able to do that because of the volatility of society, but if leftists are gonna ride behind ideals that are provably bad, then I don't know if I want them part of society. And that sounds mean. Sounds super mean. Generally speaking, I want everyone to contribute to society. But if your contribution to society is a negative asset, then frankly, that needs to be looked at and decided whether or not if we can afford to keep you afloat. All this goes back to Charlie Kirk, which is treat the dead with respect, even if you were on the opposite side. There's lots of instances of soldiers treating the enemy soldiers, the enemy warriors, death with respect. So if you can do that, then great. If you can't, then just stay off social media. And it upsets me so much that, like, Chris Pratt was like, sending to Charlie Kirk and his family, like, hey, prayers. And he's considered like, oh, he needs to be removed from the MCU. Because he sent a tweet? What group are you part of? If you say a thing, is your group going to cancel you? Then you probably shouldn't be part of the group anymore. Plan man out. I love you all. Bye-bye.